Hey guys, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. How are you today? Okay guys, let's talk about a few things today. One is this. I believe that those institutions out there, for example, JP Morgan, in direct collusion with the CME group, and this is no secret, we understand that these two have been colluding for years and manipulating the price of precious metals across the board. Now, what I believe is happening is this. It seems that more and more people are becoming aware of the manipulation in metals, as well as the manipulation in the market. I mean, it is no secret. I mean, throughout the crash of 2008, when the Fed stepped in with their QE1 failed, QE2 failed, Operation Twist failed, Operation Twist Squared right now will fail as well. And because of this, the market is grossly overvalued. And despite what the people on TV are telling everyone, the market is due for a huge correction. If it were not for all this propping up by the Fed, and actually what this propping up has done, you have to understand this as well, and I don't think that this is something else that many people talk about or really understand. The Federal Reserve is in a way front-running for the corporations and investment banks. Well, what do I mean by that? Okay, front-running is a kind of insider trading, okay? And it's akin to having advanced knowledge about a particular action and then capitalizing on that without the public knowing about it. Now, we understand, and this is, again, no secret to, I would imagine, most of you out there, that after the crash of 2008, the free market died, okay? The sole job of the equity markets is to determine fair market value. That's their only job, and I've been over this many times before. At the point where it becomes manipulated to such a degree, now we understand that the Fed has been pumping the markets up and propping it up, again, since the crash of 2008. We're talking 3.5 years of market manipulation across the board. And this is a form of front running. What this has allowed these corporations and investment banks to do is borrow money at next to nothing and then speculate with it. And that's what they're doing. And that has also helped prop up the market. Again, the Fed is front running the market, and the corporations and the banks are all capitalizing on that. And there's a huge conflict of interest as well. I've been over this. You got the Federal Reserve and the central banks of the world who hold massive amounts of gold and are adding to their positions. Meanwhile, they're dispersing their paper, worthless paper, like it's going out of style. Again, where is all this money coming from for the bailouts and everything? It has to be printed out of thin air. It doesn't just exist somewhere. It has to be made, and it's not backed by anything. So the more they make of it, well, the higher gold will go. So if that isn't the biggest conflict of interest in the history of the world, I don't know what is. So you can understand, seriously, everyone, how extreme the situation is. But we are now entering a very peculiar and interesting time. Okay, what do we know is going on? Okay, what the Fed did was institute this Operation Twist Squared. All right, more bond swaps, because that's really all this is. Operation Twist was just bond swaps. They swapped short-term bonds for long-term bonds. They're going to do the same thing now, and they're expecting things to be different. Things are not going to be different. You have to understand, guys, none of this was designed to help the American people or the people of the world. All of this stimulus was designed to do was to front run the markets so the investment banks and the corporations can capitalize on it. That's it. It hasn't helped the economy. We have a GDP of 1.9. I mean, it's pathetic. And again, they're going to need to initiate some other type of stimulus when Operation Twist Squared ends at the end of the year. It is my firm belief it is not going to work. That is when people are going to realize, hey, more of the same, nothing's going to work, and we are going to fall off the fiscal cliff. I mean, that's what everyone keeps talking about, and I believe that is what's going to happen. You have to understand, the only other reason why other people, other than the institutions, are investing in this market is because they're anticipating more QE. And it is going to come, there's no doubt about it, but it's not going to work. It's not going to do anything. Now again, because the Fed is front running this entire thing, all of these corporations are going to again capitalize on the entire situation by shorting the market. Guys, this whole thing is manipulated to the extreme. And I hope you guys are understanding that. I mean, it's as plain as day. Anyone can see this. Anyone with eyes to see can see this going on. So this is the situation I see unfolding right now, and why I believe that companies like JP Morgan are in trouble with their manipulation of the metals, in collusion with the CME group as well. There are many people out there, and we're not talking about, I'm talking about big time investors, okay, who are seeking to capitalize on every single drop that comes up with regard to gold and silver. It's gotten to the point where, as soon as the market drops, people are just scooping this stuff up. You have to understand that the demand for the physical metals is continuing to rise, and the supply cannot keep up with that demand, despite what these manipulated paper markets are telling us. The markets are just that, they're paper. If you guys have a chance, check my channel and look for a video. It is titled Spot Price of Gold and Silver is Not What It Seems. You can get more information that way as well. But many entities out there are seeking to jump in and capitalize on every time that the silver and gold prices are manipulated to the downside. And that's a fact. But you have to also keep something else in mind, guys. People keep talking about, the price of gold being manipulated, the price of silver being manipulated. Now, silver is much easier to manipulate than gold. There's no doubt about it, for a myriad of reasons. But just talking about gold, I mean, think about this. In the last 3.5 years, we watched the price of gold go from about $700 an ounce to where it is today. I don't know, it's near $1,600 today. That's pretty significant, don't you think? And it is definitely being set up for another major leg up. Why is that? A lot of reasons. The market is grossly overvalued and is due for a correction. Again, I refer back to this particular video that I've done a lot, and if you haven't seen it, you should watch it. It's called Alert, X-Wave Phenomenon Major Financial Event. Again, search my channel and you'll find it there. There's like 170 something videos on my channel now. A lot of information there. It's all free, and you can watch it at any time. And again, it'll give you a real good perspective on what's going on. If you follow my channel, you are so far ahead of the general public with regard to these issues, and you should be proud of yourself for that. Anyway, so again, going back to the premise of this video, the market manipulators out there regarding precious metals are really being put in a spot, and for several reasons. You have to understand, they don't want people holding metals. They don't want it. They're going to do everything they can, and they have been, to try to squeeze people out of it. But people who are holding precious metals, people like you, I hope, and myself have no intention of selling our metals. In fact, I look for every single opportunity to continue to add to my positions, and I do it quite often, and I hope you are as well. So what I can tell you is this, and really you need to keep this in mind. The paper market is the paper market. It does not represent the actual metal. And they can manipulate it every way they want, upside, down, backwards, and sideways. Over time, it won't work. And over time, we are going to see the actual value of these metals become realized. We're in an environment globally where all they can do is bail out countries, bail out financial institutions, and print money to keep this going. How do you think that is going to affect the price of not just gold and silver, but commodities across the board? What they're creating is an extremely dangerous situation, and it's the same situation which you've seen many, many times. When a currency dies, they keep printing it to keep this scheme going. At one point, they create a greater and greater disturbance in the supply and demand for that money, and you get massive and hyperinflation. That is the exact situation that we're marching into now. Again, going back to the video that I did about the X-wave phenomenon, it basically goes over a particular convergence, divergence regarding the equity markets and gold in particular. But I use gold because gold is the most stable asset in the world, and because of that, you can use gold as an analyst, as you guys know I am. Actually, I would consider myself a financial tactician more than a technical analyst or a market analyst or a financial strategist. I'm a financial tactician. And again, going back to gold, it's the most stable asset in the world. So by taking gold, engaging that against other assets, other entire indices, you can gain knowledge as to where things are going. Now, when I look at the charts and I present it to you guys, I'm just backing up what the fundamentals already tell me. So, no one out there that is either, let's say, a technical analyst or a fundamental analyst just relies on one thing. We rely on a whole bunch of things, and it's not an easy thing to do, but it's like anything else in life. If you do it enough, you come up with your own algorithm, and I have my own algorithm, and I use that to gauge and back up what I am thinking when I look at the charts. So what we can expect, guys, is several things to happen as we are moving forward in this. Again, a market which is highly overvalued based against a lot of factors. Again, I did videos on this. Check my channel. There's another one titled Market Overvalued, Crash Coming. Goes over a lot of the concepts of why I believe the market is grossly overvalued, why it's going to correct, why we're going to be seeing a divergence between commodities and equities, and a lot of other things are going on as well. And it's just so important for us all to understand where things are going so we can position ourselves now for that situation. Now, I always advocate you guys becoming your own central banks. It's the greatest thing that you can possibly do. Get out of fiat on a global level. Start acquiring gold and silver, more specifically silver. And it's the best way to protect yourself as we are moving forward in this, and the best way to grow your wealth. You see, you have to understand, guys, and I get a lot of questions about this as well. We are witnessing the death of the debt-based economic model on a global level based around a fiat or a fake monetary system. There will be a move to a sound money system, back to a currency backed by a hard asset. There's no doubt about it. China's already setting up to do this. I mean, it's no secret. When are they going to do it? I don't know, but that day is going to be a game changer for the entire world. Think about it. It may lead to war. I'm sure it's going to lead to something, because the United States is not going to give up that easily. The powers that be out there, I sincerely believe that. Anyway, so keep in mind what I'm saying is, there's a lot of speculation out there as to whether they're going to be raising margin requirements regarding people that trade GLD, SLV, the paper markets out there. It may happen, it may not happen. But again, I wouldn't sit here and wait for that another pullback in the precious metals. It may not come, it may come. What I suspect will happen initially, when we start to see the market roll over, is there are going to be people out there that are going to need to cover some of those losses. And how are they going to do that? Is they're going to sell other assets, and that may affect the prices of gold and silver at the spot level. Now, as we move forward, and I've been over this as well, and I write about it in my book, there is going to be a discrepancy between the spot price and the physical metal price. There already is a slight discrepancy, but that is going to grow until there's two entirely different markets. I am sure of that as we move forward. Okay, anyway guys, this is getting pretty long. I'm going to end this video. I want to thank all of you again for your amazing support. And I just want to say this as well, and I've been hearing from a lot of people, first of all, I do two things. I always ask you guys to subscribe to this channel. You will be the first to get these videos. The second thing I always ask is this: to help support this particular blog by picking up a copy of one of my books. Now, I do that for several reasons. One, I want you guys to be aware that I donate proceeds from my books to animal causes and charities. I've had a lot of feedback about that. People go, well, why don't you donate to this? Why don't you donate to that? That's what I choose to do. If you guys choose to donate to something else, that's fine. Now, if you guys out there want to help support this blog and don't feel like picking up a copy of one of my books, that's fine as well. Although there is a lot of information in those books. But what you can do, and again, I would appreciate it, is pick a charity that you believe in and donate to it. And that would be a way of supporting this blog as well. Because I really believe that we all need to help each other. And, for me, I'm an animal lover. And I understand there are a lot of causes out there. There are children's charities, cancer charities, all kinds of things. But you can't, each one of us alone can't save the world. But maybe you can find a cause that you do believe in and support it, like I do. And you'll feel better about yourself. The world will be a better place for us all. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. And I will see all of you tomorrow. You guys have a great day. You guys take care.